Asteroids hit the moon all the time, but this time it was different. No one expected it. The chaos, the perpetual gray skies, blackouts, food rioting. All we can think about now is survival, and sometimes the dead and gone. It's been a year now. It feels like there's hardly anybody left until it's time to eat, and not enough food to go around. The more people to care for, to love, it's scary, this world we live in. We are born into this world with a purpose that many of us don't discover until we're teens or adults. Some of us, never at all. They say that you're supposed to live your life to the fullest, have no regrets, and keep moving forward. Who are they? Who are we? Who am I? Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "The purpose of life is to live it, to taste experience to the utmost, to reach out eagerly and without fear for newer and richer experience." The past year has given me my own taste of experience, some pleasant, others ghastly, but I learned to make the best of what I had, even when almost everyone I knew and loved had been gone. I guess you could say that we take for granted the most valuable, yet expected, things in our lives. But I would have never thought that I would lose them all. When the meteor hit, it interrupted my perfect teenage life, or at least a life that seemed perfect to me. It didn't even really interrupt it. It ended what I considered to be a normal life of a 16-year-old girl. I went to high school. I had friends. I went to parties. I kissed boys. I had a family. I did what teenagers do. It was like seeing your puppy get hit by a bus. Everything went from perfect to bad to ugly within what seemed like seconds to me. Life's sloppy. You think you know how tomorrow's going to be. You've made your plans, everything's set in place, and then the unimaginable happens. Life catches you by surprise. It always does, but there's good mixed in with the bad. It's there, you just have to recognize it. When the disaster took place, it didn't hit me at first. It didn't register in my mind that life would never be the same. Once I came to my senses, I began reading books and scouting abandoned houses to occupy my time because it distracted me from the harsh reality that I could never bear. Mom never knew where I got the books though. She never asked, so I never told. I went to the library to find answers to questions I didn't quite understand. I went to the library because internet wasn't an option. Technology wasn't even an option at all. Back in the time when life was easy, the internet would have told me what I needed to know. The great thing about the internet was it didn't care why you were asking. Reading only reminded me how much I missed my old life, the old me. It's so easy to enjoy life when you don't expect it to change or to end. It's so easy to take life for granted until the life you loved becomes out of reach. I had boyfriends in the past, none of them very memorable, but they existed, and I knew I would find love eventually. Once the world around me changed, the fantasy of love faded inside of me, so much that I couldn't tell what love was if it were on the front cover of one of the lackluster books I forced myself to read. I have love for my family, but it's a different kind of love. I love my family because they are part of me, because they know me in every form, and they knew me from the beginning. I never had the other kind of love until I met Alex. He taught me to trust in tomorrow. He was the first boy that I truly loved, and he increased my hopes that there could actually be a future for me, a future for my family, a future for us. There's been times in my life when I thought I knew everything worth knowing. The sweetness of a robin's song, the brilliance of a field of dandelions, the exhilaration of gliding across the ice on a clear winter's day. This past year, I grew to know hunger, grief, darkness, fear. I began to understand how lonely you can feel even when all you want to be is alone. And I learned so much more. Riding my bike on the long gravel roads allowed me time to discover more about myself and more about what my future might hold. That is, if I had a future. Life is valuable. Life is precious. Life is kind of like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must keep moving.